Dzień dobry and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2016 ITTF World Tour Polish Open, a major series on the World Tour. I'm Adam Bobro, your commentator, and I'm with you live in Warsaw, Poland, as we get into the first televised men's singles quarterfinals match. It's Jun Mizutani, who's off screen on the left in the blue and yellow, versus Taku Takakiwa from Japan. Now, Taku Takakiwa is making a bit of a comeback here. I feel like it's his comeback tournament. He's 27 years old and was playing back in the day quite strong for Japan, playing with Seiya Kishikawa and Kenji Matsudaira back in the day. Kenji also here as well. Jun Mizutani, of course, topping Japan for some time now. At 26 years old, Jun Mizutani is the second seed in this tournament, currently world rank number 7. And he's a father. He's got a baby at home to take care of in the midst of winning national titles time and time again, going to the finals in Malaysia at the World Team Table Tennis Championships. Taku Takakiwa left the world rankings in February at 91 in the world. He's the 37th seed in this tournament and has taken down some big names to get here today. Really surprising the amount of, I'd say, comeback he's shown. A lot of fire out here. Of course, on the other side of the draw for Jun Mizutani is Dmitry Ovtcharov, who you'll get to see in the next match. Should be an exciting one. The upsets that we talked about, Taku Takakiwa started off beating Stefan Mengel in the opening round of Germany, 4-2. It's a good upset there. Then he played Kirill Skachkov of Russia, who beat Lee Song-soo in the opening round. It's a good win for Takakiwa. Robert Flores, Poland, right here in the home crowd, and now is facing Jun Mizutani. Mizutani in the opening round, having a solid win over a top Ukrainian player. After that, it was Grigory Vlasov, Grisha from Russia, 4-1 for Mizutani. And after that, Portugal's João Geraldo, the up-and-coming, I'd say the 4th strongest player from Portugal, who we'll see a lot more of throughout the years. So that was a 4-1 victory, and Mizutani is now here playing his teammate. Takakiwa, not on the national team this year, has been in the past. They played twice before, but it's been quite some time since they've played each other head-to-head on the World Tour. 2012, the Kuwait Open, it was 4-1 for Jun Mizutani. And in 2011 at the Japan Open, it was 4-3. Went to a decider. Now, for those of you who've been watching the program already, you know how popular table tennis is with the Japanese women, from Ai Fukuhara to Mima Ito and Kasumi Ishikawa. Many women are quite famous and can be full-time professional table tennis players in Japan. On the men's side, not so many. There are about 6 professionals: Jun Mizutani, Kenta Matsudaira, Seiya Kishikawa, Koki Niwa, and just recently, Yuya Oshima and Maharu Yoshimura finished their university to become professionals. But this man right here seems to get everything back. Jun Mizutani having the rally of the year so far, the point of the year in my opinion. At least so far, we'll see. But Takakiwa starting off with the first point in this best of 7. And a service error to tie it up. Now you can see this in still shots of Taku Takakiwa, but he has more of a European-style forehand with the elbow in toward the body a little bit more. More solid for counter looping. Not as much for finishing the points. Part of the reason we see some longer rallies in the European play. Over the table flip comes right back into the body. Takakiwa doesn't even get a racket up on it. This is anticipation from Mizutani. The effort face, but takes the point. Now, as far as the technique in the European stroke, a lot of the time it comes down to equipment too. The tacky Chinese rubber on the forehands, you can take a full stroke, ball's still gonna come down. Europeans tend to use the rubber that's a bit faster on their forehand as well, catapults off. So a little bit less is required of the arm. Well-placed serve for the point. MIZUTANI, very, very precise in his placement. And it looks like it's going to be a struggle for TAKAKIWA. Even when he's made the flip over the table, MIZUTANI's been there to bring it back. Has the opportunity there. A little bit soft on the backhand punch out to the backhand side. Catches the top edge. MIZUTANI, excellent read. How much better do they get, really? I mean, he anticipates well. Yeah, you could see that caught the top edge from that angle. No problem, MIZUTANI right there, making it look like practice out here in 8 game points. This time the forehand flips wide enough. Game point saved by TAKAKIWA. Fast-paced rally, but when the heat gets turned up, TAKAKIWA finishes with the backhand. Now, if you've been following the World Tour, you saw Jun MIZUTANI versus Shushin earlier this year from up 10-4 in the 7th. Also makes you think about when he decides to use his power. Comfortable from off the table, fishing. Against many players, MIZUTANI's power is enough to finish the point. But still a little bit soft out here the last few points. And a lucky net shot crawls over, but solid touch off the bounce. Jun MIZUTANI, 11 points to 5 to take the first game over Taku TAKAKIWA, and we'll be back for game 2 just after this. We're back for the second game. Jun MIZUTANI at the top of the screen with the serve, leading 1-0 over Taku TAKAKIWA. Heavy underspin to the middle of the table for the point. Something about that side of the table, both of these players have missed their second serve to tie up the game. TAKAKIWA falling back from the table. Has trouble keeping it down on his loop. Now, even for a European, in theory, that stroke, the elbow's just in toward the body a little bit more. Pavel Platonov of Belarus, maybe the only player with the shorter stroke or elbow in more. Best rally so far, Takakiwa getting some loops in on both sides, trying to run around MIZUTANI. MIZUTANI tends to cover the court as well as almost anybody in the world. Being world ranked number 7 and having been 5 in the world for some time, can get a lot of balls back on the table. And it starts. The backhand counter to get back in the point. We don't see him miss too many of those forehands from mid-distance. As strong as the backhand is, Jun MIZUTANI's forehand is much stronger. A little bit of side spin on that ball to add to the threat. Jun MIZUTANI recently won his 8th national title. He was the youngest ever Japanese national champion at 17 years old. The heavy spin of Takakiwa keeps the pressure on. So far, the backhand of Takakiwa has shown some good versatility and threat. Powerful off the bounce, good spin on the loop. But left a little bit out in front, the punch doesn't seem quite as threatening as some of his other backhand shots. Trying to snap through at the last moment. Ooh, soft touch for a second bounce on the table. Very rarely is MIZUTANI fooled on this. You saw him double pump and hesitate there, thinking it might come off the table. Suddenly we're tied up. Game 2, quite different from game 1. And now the forehand showing more strength as well. Takakiwa using the length of the table. Be a little bit more aggressive here with some security. And his pendulum serve has been good when he keeps it very in near the body, tight. It's been tough for MIZUTANI to read. MIZUTANI's quite strong on the receive game. Able to keep the ball short or open up with either side of the racket. But Takakiwa's been diffusing that receive and creating some solid third balls for himself. Second time we've seen MIZUTANI leave it out in front. A little shallower on the table that Takakiwa's had trouble. Step around forehand for the point, and it's tied up at 7 points each. Two reverse pendulums in a row there from Takakiwa to mix it up. And finally, MIZUTANI takes the point. What a rally. Just about everything in that shy of a chop or a drop shot. MIZUTANI fishing everything back. And look at the breathing of Takakiwa. No question that he needs a break after this. And finally, the top of the net. What resilience from MIZUTANI. an unbelievable control off the table, what makes him the best fishing player in the world. Possibly still recovering from the exhausting mile he was running before. Takakiwa with a quick point that he couldn't take. Well, I guess it was MIZUTANI who was running the mile. It was Takakiwa who was working in the attack, which can be sometimes even more exhausting than being the fisher. Takes a lot out of the upper body to continue hitting the ball that hard. Heavy spin to the short side, and MIZUTANI with 2 game points here to take a 2-0 lead. And it's not the same off the table for Takakiwa. MIZUTANI takes it 11 points to 8 and a 2-0 lead in his pocket. We'll be back for game 3. Stay right here. And the players are quickly back for game 3 as neither player has a coach in their corner, both from the same national association. A little bit late to get in for that ball, playing it from out in front. Takakiwa has some trouble. As deep on the table as they come. The ball catch the edge? Tough to tell here. Sometimes you see the players point. Definitely looked like an intentional point. Oh, I think the players are agreeing. MIZUTANI, always a fair player. Quick to let the umpire know, yes, I agree. So down 1-2, MIZUTANI. Very patient, sees the ball come off the table this time. Last time he watched it like that, he remembered 2 bounces on the table. Beautiful block. Full commitment on that step around, leaves open the forehand side. Vulnerable, exposed, and nobody home to take care of the baby. There it is. Takakiwa running back home. I'll talk to you a little bit about table tennis in Japan, and on the men's side, how it doesn't have quite the following that women's table tennis does. The company teams are a big thing in Japan. Many players like Taku Takakiwa, who plays for Tokyo Art, are playing for their company team. And that's the most power we've seen from Takakiwa from off the table on both sides. Outstanding effort to take the point. A recovery receive, fooled by the placement of that serve, but still manages to keep it deep on the table and low to the net. Taku Takakiwa plays at Tokyo Art with Shiono, Muramatsu, Chan Kazuhiro, and Hidetoshi as well. After all that backhand and all that work, finally opening it up. Doesn't follow up with the step around forehand attack. Now, even as good as Jun MIZUTANI is at fishing and keeping the ball on the table, you can see he understands his percentages are going to be way better from close. Tries to keep the pressure on. Short side of the table looks good, but the net is higher there. And the quality of the push from TAKAKIWA getting much better. Playing aggressively in his over-the-table game and his receive game as well. Look like Kohei Sambe in the background there getting ready for his match with Dmitry Ovtcharov after this one. Solid opening backhand for MIZUTANI out wide. Yeah, Tokyo Art, the only company team where the players don't have to have an actual job. Table tennis can be their job. Many of their players on the men's side, when you finish table tennis as a professional, you need to have a college degree. If you're going to be playing for a company team, they want you to actually be working while you're playing table tennis. Now again on paper, MIZUTANI the heavy favorite here. And by pretty much any standard, he's world ranked number 7 versus a former 91 in the world. That's how it's done. Deep to the backhand over and over. He allowed MIZUTANI to get one forehand back that was just screaming with side spin, but then moves a little bit more to the middle. MIZUTANI does, and TAKAKIWA punishes him by playing it right on the line. High pressure shots out to the forehand side. TAKAKIWA making a run for it. Again, the quality of shots inside out forehands, pretty much every shot in the rally, just getting better and better from TAKAKIWA. You can see why he's made it this far in the tournament, how he's taken down some big names. Something in the ball. We got a rattler here. For a minute, I thought there was a fly in his hair or something. He was just trying to get it away. The ball is a soft spot on it. It seems they're being, is that right? Did they get a new ball? And I didn't see it. It looked like they're playing with the same ball. I guess it's not broken. Very unusual shot after all that running. TAKAKIWA gets a slow ball right into the body. Tries to hit some side spin back, but you can see the crowd smiling. Creative play. Outstanding shots from MIZUTANI, but what he took off in pace and put on in side spin gave TAKAKIWA a chance to come back in. Really testing. Look at that ball fanning across. Trying to punch to get right back in the point. Very difficult to squat to the ground, come back up, and keep your composure. Outstanding touch from both players. Almost looks like a drill out here. Both of them insisting on not pushing deep or trying to take the opening flip. And those shots are only effective if someone else is waiting to come back and take the opening attack. And TAKAKIWA means business. He is on the board with the game, 11-9 over Jun MIZUTANI, and this is becoming a match. We'll be back quite quickly, so don't go anywhere. Game 4 right after this short break. Players are back for game 4. Jun MIZUTANI leading 2-1 over Taku Takakiwa in black. Again, outside of Japan, Takakiwa not quite as well known on the international scene. MIZUTANI, the most famous male player in modern years for Japan. And Takakiwa seems much more, I'd say, strong over the table in his receive game and his opening attacks. But MIZUTANI finds a good place there to block, force an off-balance backhand out of Takakiwa. We haven't seen Takakiwa more than 2 steps behind the table. Covers a net ball in that rally, but still, MIZUTANI takes the point. Second time in a row, we've seen that hooking side spin forehand fall short. MIZUTANI had to be very focused as Takakiwa took the ball from under the table with a bit of side and under on it. Takakiwa with a strong backhand counter, but MIZUTANI, too consistent, works his way back into the table. The long push is there, but the follow-up backhand off MIZUTANI's spin shot, a little bit out of control. That is as punishing as they come. Jun MIZUTANI with the backhand just ripping past. And the timing just seems a bit difficult right now for Takakiwa on that backhand. Several times he's had the opportunity now. He seemed rushed. That shot's not coming back. The short stroke inside out, wide to the forehand. It's definitely a high risk shot for Takakiwa to make that right off the bounce. Burned with the step around shot, MIZUTANI. Not an easy ball on the receive either. Takakiwa making a quality over the table shot with the backhand. And MIZUTANI running away with this game, a 7-point lead. Now 8 game points for MIZUTANI. Seems like Takakiwa is going to have to figure out what he can do to get his backhand in earlier. And I think playing it out cross court to MIZUTANI's forehand, well, it might seem risky if he can get MIZUTANI guessing a little bit late to cover the forehand after playing 1 or 2 deep to the backhand. Seems like a good strategy, but MIZUTANI dominant in this game, 11 points to 3 for a 3-1 lead. We'll be back for game 5 right after this. And we're back for game 5. Jun MIZUTANI in the blue and yellow shirt, the left-handed player versus Taku Takakiwa. Both players from Japan. Taku, actually, much like Taku, Japanese for table tennis, is table tennis in Korean, Taku. So with a name like that, to not become a table tennis player, definitely throwing people off. And staying aggressive from a step behind, Takakiwa puts MIZUTANI into a mid-distance blocking game. Short side of the table, fans out. Very versatile wrist. I think this is important, especially at this level of play, to be flexible in all ways. Tough to tell until the last moment. Look at that racket movement, very unconventional. Tries for it again, but just doesn't come over the ball enough. Catches the edge. Just a little bit late on that ball. MIZUTANI keeping the pressure good, deep on the table. Clever idea to work the angles. Takakiwa tied with his score from last game after losing 11-3 and winning the game before. As far as the pattern goes, it seems that many times Takakiwa has been rushed and jammed in the backhand corner. He's got a strong opening shot, but MIZUTANI keeps the ball coming back quick enough that Takakiwa hasn't recovered. That was the sound of Marcos Freitas. You don't even have to look, playing in the background. Thought he had fooled him. Looked like he would come in for a flip, but takes it a little bit late. Tries to keep it short, and MIZUTANI sees it quickly to come in. What was a strong start for Taku Takakiwa. Surprised we haven't seen a timeout anywhere. Has been a complete turnaround with MIZUTANI racing ahead to a 7-3 lead. Now you've got the grunting step around forehands. It's going to be tough to come back. Quality point, but finally MIZUTANI finds the uncomfortable part of the crossover point. Much like Kato, Takakiwa having to cover wide out on the middle here with that backhand. One net ball recovered, but it's Takakiwa taking the point. Timeout on MIZUTANI's side. Wants to make sure that he takes this match. Now again, you only call a timeout, or a timeout is typically only called if someone thinks it will change the outcome of the match. And Jun MIZUTANI right now knows that he needs to close this out, doesn't want to have to worry about Takakiwa playing like he did in game 3. It was the closest game they had had yet, but Takakiwa showed that he's got power, can play some high pressure shots. Is getting his touch back into play. Takakiwa had struggled in the recent Japanese championships and in the Japanese leagues, the company teams league. But has really come to life out here. Again, later years, 27 years old. Only 1 year older than Jun Mizutani, who still feels like he's got a long career ahead of him playing for the Japanese national team, holding down the #1 spot and back from the timeout. Quality long push into the body from Takakiwa. Tries to go around the net. Look at these angles from Takakiwa. Recovers the ball deep. Mizutani punching with that backhand cross court. And suddenly it's a 1-point game with Takakiwa on the serve. Break off the top of the net. Couldn't be a more scarring time for Takakiwa to have to deal with that shot. And Mizutani now with 2 match points. Inside out forehand goes long. Takakiwa still stays alive here. 1 match point saved. Now normally going over to the towel, you have to wonder if the score on the screen isn't right, if it's actually 10-8. Tough to see the scoreboard from here. And there it is, Jun Mizutani takes it. It was a 5-game extravaganza, but the world ranked #7, second seed in this tournament, 26-year-old Jun Mizutani will move on to the semifinals and stick around. His arch nemesis in the outstanding match, the opponent, the top seed Dmitry Ovcharov, is playing in the next match versus Japan's Kohei Sanbei. So stay right here. You're watching the Polish Open.